So welcome, Nathan, for this book talk. The interesting thing about you is that in a previous life, you used to be an investment banker in New Zealand, and now you live in Georgia, in Eastern Europe somewhere, and you do nothing else but write books. That must have been an interesting switch.
Yeah, I do sleep sometimes.
Oh, you
So
do?
not nothing else but write books. But yeah, that is my main thing. Yeah, so I guess some of my books have been about the career that I used to have. Like I've written books about crowdfunding and alternative finance and that kind of thing. So it's all nonfiction, and that's me. Yeah,
But you also wrote books about chess
yeah, I
and
did.
something completely different.
Something completely different. Yeah, it was a funny one. If I was to have my time over again, I might have written that one under a pseudonym just to keep the brand a little more consistent. But anyway, you learn these things. And yeah, I do have a book on chess, and I have another one coming out very soon. So I'm in the process of my fifth book launch.
Ah, interesting. And you mentioned to me that the chess book got more attention after the Queen's Gambit on
Yeah.
Netflix. That suddenly people are interested in chess, and that's why you're launching this second book.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I did a couple of things at the same time. So yeah, as you said, that Netflix show, The Queen's Gambit, came out. So there was a bump in interest there, but at the same time, I took my Amazon advertising game to a higher level. It's been something that's been on my to-do list for a very long time, and I sort of did that, and the Queen's Gambit came along at the same time. So it was difficult to disentangle which one was more uh, responsible for the bump in sales, I suppose. And now, like a few months on, the Queen's Gambit's a few months old now, so most people have watched it, and interest has died away a little bit. But the nice thing about something like chess is that it's always, it's been around for 500 years, and therefore it'll continue to be around for a long time. So it's not something that's going to completely ever go away. So.
Yeah, but what's also interesting that you took this peak in interest for chess books and you acted on it. You could also have thought, well, I'm also working on this other book and I was planning to do that first, but you
Yeah.
saw something happening in the market and you reacted to it. And I think that's one of the key principles of marketing in general and also book marketing.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, it was also a case of wanting a good project to get my teeth stuck into. As we were going back into lockdown, we had sort of 2 or 3 months ahead of us of, pretty bleak winter, and I thought like it'd be really great to have something that I'm confident of actually getting done in that time, like a focus to work on. So yeah, it was a combination of that. But I would push back a little bit on the whole market opportunity thing, because I do like the idea of books which will continue to sell, like rather than like spotting something and then having it sell for 3 months or 6 months or a year or however long the fad lasts for. I do sort of prefer to look at things which I think will continue to sell for a lot longer. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I like about you. You have a very consistent approach to book writing, research, and also launching and marketing. And I have been writing books for quite a long time, and I think I've passed number 30. But I
Wow.
like the process of writing books and then just putting them out there. And I never think about the marketing or a launch or anything. And when the book is finished, it's finished for me. And I do realize that a lot of writers feel the same way. And you can have 30 books, but they won't sell unless you market them and position them in Amazon and do some preparation work. So I thought I would take myself as an example and ask you for some tips and some of the things you do. You told me you're trying out new things for your current launch. And then I'd like to get back with you after your launch has happened and to see what has worked and what hasn't worked. So we learn with you while this is going on.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big question of like, yeah, what can you do to promote a book? There's 1,001 things, and I think the problem with a lot of authors might might be a feeling of overwhelm that there are so many things you can do, and which ones are going to have the most impact. So yeah, I have tried a lot of stuff. I'm going to be trying a few more things in this new launch. So I can speak to what I've tried that hasn't worked so well, which I wouldn't do again, or I wouldn't put as much effort into again.
Maybe start with a few things that every author should absolutely do.
Yeah. Okay. So probably your audience has heard from you the importance of things like cover and back cover design and having a nice description, which gives people a reason for buying it. So I definitely emphasize that as well. I think one thing that you can do quite easily is get testimonial reviews about your book before it is launched. So that those are separate from Amazon reviews. So the Amazon reviews are the things which give you a star rating out of 5. But in addition to that, you can get testimonial reviews, which you can put in on Author Central on the Amazon platform, which, if you have 8 or 10 nice quotes, or from preferably people who others have heard of before, or media organizations. So, Esther's book has transformed my journey as an author and made it really quick and easy to get my book done. That would be a nice sentence that you could pop there.
But you say on Author Central. So I
Yeah.
know in a blurb on Amazon, you can also put a testimonial, which works really great. So you don't just put your back cover text in the blurb, but you put 1 or 2 testimonials in. But on Author Central, do you mean the about the author part on Author Central, or is there another part where you can enter?
Separate from that. Yeah, it's separate from that. There's there's a place in Author Central for entering testimonial reviews. It's a bit fiddly because you've got to do.
Really? Well, you see,
Yeah,
it's already a big discovery for me.
Okay, so yeah, that's something that everyone can do. It is, of course, effort to get people to.
So this is not book specific. This is about the author. So if I have 5 books on Amazon, these testimonials on Author Central should be about me as a whatever entrepreneur person, whatever, and not specifically about one book.
Right. Yeah, but on Author Central as well, you can click on your individual book and then add the reviews to each book.
Really?
The fiddly part is that you have to do it separately for .com, .de, .uk, .fr, but that's just how they've got it set up at the moment. But it's a little, it's a hidden thing, isn't it? It's like it's a part which, if you hadn't uploaded a book for the first time, you might not even find, because everything's new. So you go on to Kindle Direct Publishing and you upload your book and you think you're done, but there's actually this other place which Amazon doesn't really even tell you about. I mean,
even Author Central was kind of a hidden site for me, within Amazon. And then within Author Central, there's these hidden spots that we can use.
You just have to click around a lot. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
If you have testimonials there, does it put your books higher in ranking, or does it give more value? What does it do to have a lot of testimonials there?
I think it helps your conversion, right? Like it's like having a good cover that more people, once they're on your, a cover design actually helps people click on your book in the first place. But once they've clicked on your book, then they have to buy the book, and having testimonials will increase the ratio at which people click to buy. And indirectly, that does help your ranking, because Amazon does track the ratio of click to buy, and will they'll give more visibility to books which have higher click to buy ratios. So
because they want people to find what they're looking for and to actually buy what they see. So it's in both Amazon's interest and our interest as authors, but also in the buyer's interest, that those books that convert well are higher in the search ranking.
They're more visible. That's right.
So what other things would you recommend every author to do?
So a real step change for me was, I mentioned at the start of the call, like learning the ads platform properly. So that it is just incredibly good for your visibility if you can have your book shown in more places. So yeah, you can target by category. So if you're a science fiction author, you can appear on the pages of other science fiction books, right? So, or searches which relate to science fiction. So it's difficult to like explain the ads platform in a call like this one. Really the thing to do is to, again, this is another part of the whole Amazon ecosystem. You go into the, they call it, they have a new name for it actually, but it's accessible from the Kindle direct publishing platform. You click on promote and advertise. And yeah, I actually took Mark Dawson's course. That's how I learned it. That's, a pretty comprehensive course on Amazon advertising and also Facebook advertising, which is something I haven't tried yet, but am going to try this time. So, yeah.
And to get back to what you were just saying, this is the first step to actually have your book put in front of readers. And so to show up in searches or in ads.
Yep.
And then when your cover is good, they will click on it, and then they will read your blurb and your testimonials, and then they may buy it, right? But the first step is to show up. Your cover can be great. You can have great testimonials, the best book, but if it doesn't appear in searches, nobody will know it exists.
Yeah. It's like dating, isn't it? You have to show up before you can ask someone out, or they can ask you out. You actually have to be in a place where you're accessible. If you're, if you're just at home, no one's going to knock on the door and ask you out. And if they did, it would be kind of creepy. So it's the same with books, right?
That's interesting. That's an interesting metaphor. Yes.
If you're invisible, then unfortunately you won't sell a lot. Yeah.
And what I've also heard people talk about a lot is that you have to somehow prepare your book to appear on Amazon by, having it appear high in a category by doing pre-sales, or what is that process that everybody talks about?
So, well, they might be talking about the setting it up for pre-orders. So that's another thing you can do. You can, like, even if your book is not finished yet, you could set a date 3 months in the future, for example, and people can already buy your book at that point. It's sort of both scary and motivating, because you do actually have to upload a file to set up the pre-order, and whatever that file is you upload at the time you set it up is going to be the file that gets sent out to people on that date, unless you change it. So, if you upload a half-finished book so that you can get that thing done, and
you forget to change it,
well, things just take longer than you think, which it seems to be a law of the universe, at least in my universe. Yeah, you're going to send out a half-finished book. So, but it is a good tactic, because what it means is that the sales that you get before the launch date all count on day one. So it's like you could promote your book for a month with Facebook ads, for example, and then on that first day you'll get a month worth of sales on one day. So like it all hits at once, and that helps with your bestseller rankings, and then you can call yourself a bestseller and all that.
Yeah, because that's also what I understand is one of the major achievements you can have on Amazon is to become a bestseller, even if it's in a very small category or niche. Just the fact that you're a bestseller will put you higher also in the sales rankings. Plus, it's a nice testimonial or certificate or a proof.
Yeah, it's a nice achievement. It is a short-term achievement though, which I think goes back to what I was saying before, which being a bestseller is nice, but I prefer to be what Ryan Holiday calls a perennial seller, where you're selling like consistently over years and decades, hopefully.
Yes.
So
yeah, and your book on chess, like you were saying, that is a topic that is good to be a bestseller, a perennial seller over a lot of time. And also my new book on how to write a book. I have the Dutch one here. this is how you write a book in Dutch. And in
Yeah.
English, I changed it, and I changed the cover and the title. The content of the book is the same. It's going to be about reverse writing, because there's already so many books on how to write a book, but my method, reverse writing, that you also know and use, starting at the back cover, setting up the structure first and then writing the book,
Yeah.
that's what will make it stand out. So I will also try to, um, this is also a topic that will sell forever, because people have always been writing books and they will always write books. So hopefully, this is a thing that will continue for a while.
Yeah, and you would have made deliberate design decisions in your book to write it in a way that is not going to go out of date, right? Like if you, I've sort of found the hard way through my crowdfunding books that as soon as you start mentioning like websites, the websites go out of date. And then you just create like a treadmill for yourself, having to update it all the time. And
Yeah, I'm still in that treadmill. So how did you
yeah,
solve that? Do you create a web page where you update the websites, or you just don't mention any websites at all?
yeah, it's a tricky one. I mean, it comes down to the type of book you write. So, I mean, people buy books for all kinds of reasons. But people buy books like that. People buy a travel guide, which is going to give them hotels and restaurants, and then a year later, all the hotels and restaurants will have
That's the
changed.
first thing to update. Yeah, but I think any
Yeah,
book, any non-fiction book will have a number of websites, because that's how you give examples and how you add value to the book. But like you say, if you have a whole list, especially with technical things, a whole list of content that's related to things that change, then you're setting yourself up for trouble.
yeah,
Um, but that's another thing, that's something you should take care of when you're writing your book. And in this call, I'd like to focus on the marketing and the promotion
yeah.
of those books, whether they have
Mhm.
links or not. So trying to pre-sell and to have a lot of sales on your launch date is good to get this bestseller status to be high. And then of course the book needs to be good to continue selling.
Yep.
Some people also say that if you launch free, or like for $1, you
Yep.
also get more sales in those first days or weeks. What is your experience with that?
Well, free is not a sale, so
Ah, it doesn't count. Okay.
free is a download, but it's not a sale. So um, I like to go back to Amazon's motivations. So is it in Amazon's interests to give a lot of visibility to free books, which are not earning them anything? Probably not. Like their incentive is to give more visibility to books which are going to earn Amazon money. So
Yes.
the reviews as well. So if you get someone to download your book for free and then leave a review on a book, that doesn't count as a verified review. So I did try the free launch for my first book, and I got a lot of downloads. But I wouldn't do it again. I think it can work. And again, it depends a bit on your goal for your book. And I would simply say, like, if your goal is to just get this book into the hands of as many people as possible because you're a coach or a consultant or something, then yeah, that could work to do it for free. But if your goal is to sell books and have high visibility in the longer term and sort of make friends with Amazon's algorithm, then I would go with the paid launch.
And a paid launch, could that be $1, or is it like the normal price, or like half price, or what do you experiment with, and what is your recommendation?
So I set my launches at $3 for Kindle. That's the minimum it can be to still get the 70% royalty. But then I advertise it as 50% off the normal price. So, the book will be $6 or something at a normal price. So you've still got that urgency, scarcity to get people to buy on the first day or the
And is it
first
only
week.
that first day, or is it a week
I,
or
I run it
something?
for a week. I run my launches for a week. So I'll do an announcement on the Monday, the big launch email with all the links and everything on the Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm kind of sending out social proof. Here it is, it's a bestseller. Here are the testimonials. You get to use those testimonials that you used the first time in Amazon. You get to use them again in your launch email. And then Friday is like a closing soon. Time is running out, last chance kind of thing. And a bit of thanks as well. Like you also thank people who did get it and thank them for supporting the launch. Yeah.
And you do your launches on Amazon, so you don't sell your books on your own website.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because you would make more money selling from your own website, but you wouldn't get this listing in Amazon and the visibility. So you choose for building on Amazon instead of direct sales.
Yeah, and there's a couple of reasons. Yeah, I mean, for you could sell the ebook and get a slightly less. You wouldn't have to give Amazon their 30% cut if you sold it on your website. But Amazon makes it really easy with audiobook distribution and paperback distribution, and one link sends people to where they can buy either copy. Like especially with the chess book, a lot of people prefer the paperback version of that. So I don't really want to give out two links of like, if you want to buy the paperback, go here. If you want to buy it just gets very confusing for everyone, not least for myself. So yeah. And on my website too, there's just one link that goes to Amazon, and by selling on Amazon, I get more visibility with every sale. So
yeah. Plus, I'm thinking your own audience could buy from your website. They know you already, and that would be a strategy. But if you want to reach new people, there's a lot of people into chess around the world, and they will go to Amazon. So you reach an audience that you couldn't reach by yourself, and in return you pay the commission and you earn less money, but you sell more.
Yeah, it is a good debate. Like some people sell on the website, some don't. It's hard to know, like in parallel universes, how which would work out better. I guess I'm probably more of the school of thought of simplicity. Like I haven't sort of delved too much into clever ways of sending people to one place or another to get an extra 30% royalty. But yeah, the simplicity is something that I value, so that's why I do it.
I value simplicity more and more. I've created a very complicated website, with lots of content, and I have so many ideas. And now I'm trying to get back to simplicity again. So I value that you mentioned that. And I think it's better to keep things simple, especially in the beginning. And then you can always elaborate and branch out. So now we've mentioned a few things that every author should do. Of course, a good cover, back cover, title, testimonials. Check out Amazon advertising. I'm going to have to do that as well at some point. And what are the things that you have tried and that didn't work, that seemed like a good idea?
So I found any kind of guest blogging to be a very large investment of time for not much return. So you can spend a lot of time pitching bloggers on ideas, and then that maybe they'll accept it, maybe they won't. Then you write them a nice article, or even if you repurpose stuff from your book, there's still some time that it takes to send them something that's unique and will suit their audience and so on. And then they have to put it on their site, and then the site has to have a link, and the link has to be correct. And they can't remove the link. They sometimes do that, and it sounds just complicated. I just find it a real pain, and I've never found it to be that effective. Yeah, so this is why ads are so much better, because people are already on Amazon. It's all in the Amazon ecosystem. You control the ad platform, right? So you're in control rather than the blogger who you're pitching. And I just think as well, like, even if people read the article, and it's sort of questionable whether people still read long articles on the internet, or if social media has kind of taken that space away, it's just another step. Like, it's an extra step that now they don't just have to click on your book and then buy the book. They have to go to the blogger's website, click on that link at the bottom of your page. at the bottom of the page.
I'm already tired while you explain that. Yeah, it's too
Yeah,
complicated.
so it's probably coming through in my voice, right? Like how painful that is. So I would not do that again. What I might do, or what I have done, and what I've sort of replaced that with is social media share icons. So I will send a batch of 4 images which are optimized each for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram in the correct dimensions, just with an image of my book and like an arrow being like, hey, get this book today, it's 50% off this week. And then a percentage of people who I send that to will share that. And yeah, versus writing articles, it's a lot simpler.
You give them commissions, or is it just a favor they're doing you?
Oh, they're doing a favor. I mean, the affiliate commission from a book is so negligible. It's kind of, I mean, it goes back to the creation of the book itself. Like for the most recent crowdfunding book I did, I interviewed 20 crowdfunding campaigns and 12 crowdfunding agencies. So I sent those share links to those people. So those people had already been featured in the book. So rather than incentivizing them with an affiliate commission, I was sort of incentivizing them to promote their own work or their own interview. And
Yeah, and I think that's a very important one, because many people who write books nowadays have interviewed people, either people in the book or people that they know from their work relating this topic. And even I sometimes forget to involve those people in the promotion. And those people actually like to share on social media that a book has come out with their contribution or interview or example or a success story.
yeah.
So providing them the images to share makes it a lot easier for them to do it. So I think that's a very, very good point, and like a quick win that authors can use to involve anybody who's been involved in the process of your book, even the editor sometimes or the designer. They like to share that a new book has come out with their contribution, and they can just make a boring post about it, or you can provide the copy or nice images or a picture of their contribution, and then they can share it. So and of course include the link to your book where you want them to go, on Amazon or on your own website, or in Holland we have a specific website, bol.com. So you have to direct where you want all those people to send their followers.
Yeah, that's it. I think you just want to make it as simple as possible for people. So that's where creating the images for them. It means it's not 20 minutes out of their day to find the right link and blah 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 blah. You've already given it to them. It's like 2 minutes or something. Yeah.
So what else have you tried? So blogging, creating blog posts, it sounds interesting, but it is a lot of work and it may not generate a lot of sales. What other promotional thing have you tried that you wouldn't do again?
I found podcasts do it as well, be not as productive as they used to be. So my first book I was in 2016, and on that effort I got invited. Well, I sort of invited myself, I suppose, to through extensive pitching. I contacted like 100 podcasts and got interviews published on 20 of them.
Wow.
And I just think, yeah, but I found years later when I tried to replicate that I just couldn't. That even with the same level of effort and level of follow up and everything else was the same. It's 3 years later.
The podcast landscape has changed. There's more podcasts, more people wanting to be on podcasts. So I guess that's different. Yeah, everything changes constantly.
Yeah. So I think podcasts are not as effective as they used to be. So it's
on the
important.
other hand, if you do get on a podcast, you have people listening to your story, advice, method for an extended period of time, like half an hour or something. And you have the opportunity to mention like your website, to give examples, there's show notes, and usually it's an audience that doesn't know you yet, so it's somebody else's audience.
Mm.
So if you can get onto podcasts, I always say yes, and I always advise people to do it because so much effort into trying to get onto podcasts may not be as effective as it used to be.
Yeah, it falls into that bucket of the thousand things that you could do. So it's one of those things. Yeah, it doesn't hurt for sure. Like if you can get on a podcast, absolutely, it's a nice thing. But could your time be spent elsewhere in a more effective way? That's kind of the question you keep need to be asking. So,
Yeah. Any
yeah.
more of those things that you could do but you would not do next time and use your time differently?
For the most recent launch, I I got a whole bunch of physical copies of the book, and mailed them out to people. Like as as a thank you for helping out with the book. And it just turned out to be really expensive and really time consuming. It was, I got 25
Oh,
copies of the book, and they were shipped over here, and I signed them, and I put them all into an envelope. And the person at the post office, they must have
send
hated
them
me
all over
because
the world.
all over the world. So every single one of those 25, or actually it was more like, no, it was one for everyone who I interviewed. So yeah, 32 it would have been. It would have. Yeah, and
How
every
much
every
did
single
that
one of them
cost
had.
you?
Yeah, it was like $1,000, and it
What?
was $1,000, and it's a nice gesture, but I think if I was to do it again, I might send like 5 books to people who'd really helped me. Because the person at the post office was about ready to throttle me, and the people standing in line behind me were not so happy either.
Oh, you did everything in one go, of course. Yeah.
No,
Oh, that's
no, I didn't do everything in one go. I did it in 5 batches, so like 6 or 7 a day, and it still took about an hour each time. So 5 trips to the post office, getting there and back as well.
I have
I wouldn't
another
do that again.
example in the
Yeah,
category of don't try this at home, don't do this again. For one of my books, I thought it would be nice to print a first page with this is number dot 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 out of the first thousand, and to leave a personal note in each book so people could
mm,
pre-order. They could say, I want this book to say for Johnny from Leah with love, whatever. And then, it would be a unique number, which meant that the first 500 books, I got like these big boxes of books. I had to open all the boxes and lay out the books and then first put all the numbers because you cannot do two things at the same time. So first it was like 1 out of 1,000, 2 out of 1,000, 3 out of 1,000. So I had all these piles of books. Then I had to go to the emails and, oh, this one is from Johnny for Leah. And then I had to match it in the right envelope to send it to the right person. So
yeah.
3 times I had to go for each book. So the idea was brilliant. People really liked it, but it cost me like a whole week to send out all those books. So that's another one in the category of nice idea, but I would reconsider if you want to do things quickly and efficiently.
Everything you're doing is taking away from writing time. So yeah, you've got to think of opportunity cost. Yeah, like you say, it's probably people really appreciated the gesture. Um,
And that's also worth something, but
it's
it's
worth
not in
something.
the
Yeah,
category of being efficient. Yeah. So
yeah,
like
totally.
you were saying, the most efficiency can be achieved on the Amazon platform because people are there anyway when they're looking for something and you are already there, so you should just connect the two by being more visible and maybe doing ads. um, and you said this course of Mark Dawson.
Mark Dawson. Yeah.
Is he a Dynamite Circle member or?
No, he is very successful as a thriller writer. So
Really? Huh.
so he's written a lot of thrillers, and he it's hard to know how much people are really making, but I would say he's making more than he did as a lawyer for sure.
Wow.
So he's successful at the thing that he's teaching. So yeah,
I'm
it's
going
not
to
just.
look into that. So that would be something you recommend other authors as well, to dive into Amazon advertising, not into the specifics, but at least, to get started and to try out different things.
Yeah, I mean, Mark's course is expensive, so it wouldn't be the first thing that I'd buy if I'm a new author. But if you're looking to up your game, I would invest the money. Like, it's definitely paid itself off with, the sales I've made over the last couple of months. But yeah, first thing, go in there and just try it yourself, right? Click around and maybe just spend $20 here and there and sort of see what the results can be. So, I mean, I'm in a regular authors mastermind group, and it feels like this is kind of the consensus. Write good books, try and write series so that people who buy your first book will be interested in your next book. Something I haven't been too good at historically, jumping around topics all the time. But write good books in series and run ads to them, and that's pretty much, the rest is the rest is detail.
When do you start posting ads? Is it just before the book is finished? Is it when it's finished? Is it long before? When do you start?
I would start. Well, this is something I'm trying for the first time. Is running ads before the launch. So I don't have any results to report on that yet. Maybe we can return to that in a few weeks. But no, traditionally I've just started running Amazon ads after the book is launched. So I have all my kind of email marketing effort before the book is launched, where I'm kind of building up to it, and I'm sending an email with a sample and trying to get people to vote on the cover design and getting people to give their feedback on the title and, make them feel involved that way. And then once that's done, and once the email list has kind of been exhausted with, they've heard of my book already, now I need to reach new people. And ads is my way to do that on an ongoing basis.
Yeah. And those emails to your email list, do you send it to everybody? Because you have people interested in chess, interested in financial things, interested in digital nomading. So how do you divide your list or know how people are interested in a certain topic?
So I used to do it just to everyone, but I don't anymore. Yeah, I guess, those subjects are so different from each other. So what I do is, for each book, I have an email sign up bonus thing. Get some stuff extra from the book, and there's a different page to download the bonuses from each book. And then inside my email service provider, I have different groups. So people have subscribed either to the chess one or to the cryptocurrency one or the digital nomad one, and then I'll sort of I won't send chess stuff to people who've read the cryptocurrency book unless they've also read the chess book. Yeah, so I sort of do it inside the email server.
It's a good thing. If somebody downloads a free giveaway about a certain topic, it's safe to assume that they're interested in the topic.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's how I do it.
Okay. So we both know that book promotion is a lot of work. And writing the book is already so much work. And then when you think you're done, you have to start, the whole promotion process, because your book can be great, but if nobody sees it, then, you're not going to sell them. How much effort do you put into book promotion compared to research and writing?
Probably not enough. I probably put way too much effort into the writing and the research, and not enough into the marketing.
But
it's
is it like
me.
10% if you put into promotion, or 50%, or?
I would say it's in the order of 10 or 20%, because
that's already a lot.
10 or 20% goes into marketing, versus writing. Yeah. Well, I mean, Taylor Pearson, who we both know, he sort of used.
I just got another idea. I hadn't heard of. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
There was a little
Taylor Pearson, who we both know, he sort of said that for his book it was 50-50. writing and promotion.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
yeah, he did a lot for that launch. It's quite impressive.
That's like almost professional.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
What
I
were you going
just
to say?
remembered
Yeah.
another thing that could be useful. I don't know if you use it. There's this website, HARO, Help a Reporter Out. Have you heard of
Yep.
it? I've used them a few times for other things, but if you keep an eye on reporters looking for experts in certain topics, then if you're creative, and you write an email every time, you can get featured in, books, articles, podcasts, whatever. They're specifically looking for something on your topic. And then you should just say, hello, I'm here and this is what I do. Did you use them?
I tried them. Yeah. I just, again, found it to be a bit like the blog article thing where it's just, just like quite a lot of frustration and effort and, rejection versus results. So yeah, and monitoring the email inbox all the time. It probably can. It probably can work. It probably can work, especially for the kinds of books that I write. Which are of interest to people who are interested in financial technology and this kind of thing. But I feel like I'd need to set up a system of having a VA monitoring my inbox and looking for these things, because I just know it won't be the sort of thing that I'll do anything to avoid that kind of work myself. So yeah. I mean, when I'm writing, I set up Freedom. There's this browser application extension. It basically blocks your distracting stuff, right? It blocks your social media, it blocks your email inbox, and you set a timer on it for, like I set it for 8 hours, and then it doesn't let you back onto that until so you sort of set up the situation where the only thing to do is to write.
Wow.
And that's, we're meant to be talking about marketing, not productivity, but that's my sort of productivity method of, just
you can also do that when you're setting up your Amazon ads, so you don't get distracted and you just focus on one task.
I did have it set up when I was doing that. Yeah, I was, and when I was watching the videos as well, like in Mark Dawson's course, I was just focusing on watching them and taking good notes and then implementing it.
Yeah, focus is needed in any phase. And so, like we said, it is a lot of work. You were also mentioning for your current launch, you're going to try out some new things. Do you want to let us know what you're going to be trying out so we can go on this journey with you?
Yeah, so the pre-order is something I haven't tried before. So I'm going to set that up and just find my way around that system, like at a point where I'm comfortable that I will actually launch on the day that I say that I'm going to. Because I feel like that for next launches, I want to know how that whole system works. I think things like, if I have an emergency, can I extend the launch date? I think you can, but you always learn best by doing. So yeah, pre-orders is one thing. I want to do a giveaway of other books in the genre. So through King Sumo, you can set up it's basically a book giveaway. So people who haven't heard of you before, they might have heard of similar books. So for the chess book, very good example, Queen's Gambit, everyone's watched the Netflix show, but they might be surprised to know that it was originally a book. So I can give away that book, plus a few other well-known chess books, plus mine. And people who recognize any of those books and want to win it can enter this giveaway. They enter their email, and then, so it's a way for me to collect emails, and then they can also get more entries into the contest by sharing the link.
Okay. But so you don't have to participate with the author of the other book. So you just decide what books you're giving away. I always thought that this giveaway, you had to do it in a joint promotion with other authors.
No, that's the beauty of it. No, you can just give away the book. So again, this is something I'm going to learn, but I think the way it works is that you just guarantee a copy of, say, 5 books, and unlike my awful trip to the post office to give it to, you know, send 25 different books to 25 different people. I can just order enough books to send to one person. So, you know, the total cost will just be the cost of those books plus postage. And I think I can probably even just send it straight from Amazon, right? I can probably just say, hey, what's your address? And I'll send it to them that way. I think I'll actually try that after the launch. So as a way of giving it a bit of a boost, like right after it's done, and sort of another reason to go out to my email list too. You know, hey, the book's launched now, so you can win these other books too. Here's the link.
Great.
And the third thing I'm going to try is Facebook advertising. You know, I just know the power of Amazon advertising, and I think it's a multiplier effect. You know, again, a way of reaching more people who might not be Amazon users, but or they might be not in the habit of buying books on Amazon. They can find out about it another way. So, yep. It's another module of the course which I've already got, so I can just like go in there, watch those lessons, and then try it and figure it out.
Nice. Those are all things that I've also, you know, been thinking about, and I may also try them out for this reverse writing book, because it's, you know, I put so much effort into the book, and so many authors put so much effort into a book that then just appears on a website, you know, goes into the archive, and so few people get to see. So I think what I really admire in you is that you consistently, you know, put in the work, not just in the research and the book writing, but also in the launch and in the promotion.
Well, thank you. That's a nice compliment. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, you try and keep learning. I think it really helps to be around other authors who are on the same journey as you. Like, that's been very helpful for me to learn. Like, you know, I do nonfiction, but the group I'm part of, everyone else is doing fiction actually, but I get ideas from them which are, you know, applicable to my own launches.
There's a lot of similarities in the process, not in the content, but in the process.
Yeah, I don't get so much out of their whole, you know, I've got this plot problem with this character, and I can't decide whether to kill them or not, or if they should live, or if they should be in my next series. So I can't help you there really. But
okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So when is your launch scheduled?
28th of February, end of the month.
Oh, that's very soon.
It is.
So when shall we call again to see what you learned from this launch?
Let's say the start of April. So give me March, and I'll, you know, I usually need a week or two after the launch to tidy everything up, and probably then I'll run my my book giveaway as well.
Yeah, great.
Talk results then.
And if people who are watching this so far, congratulations. If they want to know more about you, your book, your launch, maybe they want to participate, where can they find you?
So my website is www.nathanrose.me. That's rose like the flower.
Okay, I'll put it in the video or in the show notes.
Yeah, cool.
Anything else you want to add? Anything we forgot? Anything you want to tell the authors that are watching?
I would just maybe emphasize that, yeah, it is a lot of work, and even people like me and you who have got, you know, in my case, almost 5 books, and in your case, 30 books under their belts, know that it's a lot of work. So it's, yeah, you're not alone. It's rewarding, but yeah, don't be put off by the work, because
yeah, there's not a magic button or something. There's not a shortcut, unfortunately.
Wouldn't say so. If there is, I haven't found it.
Please, if you find it, please let me know.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Nathan.
Thanks, Esther.
See you in a
Appreciate
few weeks, and good luck with your launch.
Cheers. All right. Have fun. Bye.